Hey, Coach, first scrimmage, just give us an overall view of what was the goal today?
Just to get some good assessment of how we've been putting in things for the last 2 weeks. First 4 installs of our offensive and defensive schemes are in. So we wanted to really just get a good evaluation of the guys in terms of being able to take what they learn in the classroom to the field. Obviously for us, there's a lot of work that still has to be done, but I'm happy with where we are. The guys are flying around. They're having fun. That's the most important thing. I think the body language that we've sort of kind of seen out here has been pretty good.
Coach, can you talk about this week? You said that you was going to learn a lot from your team. You said this thing would be on situational football during the spring scrimmage. What did you pick up from this team this week and from this scrimmage, and how clean was the operation today during the scrimmage?
For the most part, it was clean. The guys flew around a little bit. We had some penalties here and there, but I can understand and accept aggressive penalties when it comes down to it. But, for the most part, we wanted to just be able to get a good evaluation on the guys of what they've learned so far and their ability to apply what we've given them in situations, right? So we had a move the ball period today. We had a period where it was after a penalty, things of that magnitude that we got to work on and make sure our kids understand those different situations. But I think they've done a good job of just looking into what it is that's being taught and making sure they're applying what we're giving them to the game, to the practice field.
You talked after the first practice about the next few weeks about being about establishing an identity.
Yeah.
What kind of identity have you begun to see emerge from this team over the last few
I think we're going to be an aggressive team, right? Outside of the foolish penalties and the foolish things that we got to make sure that we're not doing, I think we got a team of guys that want to be aggressive. They want to make sure that they strain violently into the whistle, and that's what it's truly all about, and that's the standard, to be honest with you. So for us to have some guys that'll stick their face in the proverbial fan is what we're looking for, that smart, fast, and physical football players. So for us, we're trying to get that out of them, and they're trying to give it to us.
Real quick, we were talking during that final huddle just now that speech is something we might not have heard from this team over the last couple of years. How important is this for you to establish the culture, the guidelines of this team to make them both better football players and better people for this team this year?
At the end of the day, it's all about our culture, because the proverbial word culture just means what you do each and every day and what your program is all about. And that's what we got to establish. We got to establish the standards that come along with being at Florida A&M University. We got to understand the pride that comes along with being at Florida A&M University, and that's what we got to make sure that these guys understand. Some of the things that were accepted or taken in their times here before, some of that stuff's not going to be accepted, and that's just what it is. It's an accountability thing, making sure we're responsible for the things that we do, and we're going to be held accountable for the things when we do step out of line. So for us, we're just making sure that we're giving them the directives that they need and the structure that they need to make sure that they're putting their best foot forward.
Coach, along with winning and bringing back the winning attitude to the program and building the program, I heard a 70-year-old chant from the team at the end. We wanted them. Mm-hmm. How important is it to you to reinstill the traditions of family?
It's highly important, man, because I think these kids got to realize and understand people that have come before them that have laid the foundation. When I got here, that was one of the main things that we had to know and had to do. We had to know the history. We got to know our alma mater. We got to know the people. Like the first meeting we came, they don't know who Albert Chester is. You know what I mean? We do a history lesson every Thursday before we meet, and they got to make sure that they understand and know the coaches and the players that have come here before them that have set the foundation for them to be where they are today. So for us, being a Rattler and knowing the tradition and knowing the history, it's important because that's my duty as a former Rattler to make sure that they understand where it comes from and where it came from and how we're going to make sure that we keep that tradition going.
Go ahead.
Coming out of this scrimmage right here in 2 weeks of spring, are there some guys that have flashed to you, and also talk about your quarterbacks a little bit, how they've been with decision making and commanding the offense?
Well, from a standpoint of just flashing, you got some guys that are flash. Caden Brown has been pretty good flashing when it comes down to it. He's a guy that's going to give us something, we think, down the line and during the season in terms of a pass rush and just overall defender. He's done a really good job. Justice Cross, a couple guys that have really done a good job of honing in on what it is that we're teaching them and trying to give them. With the quarterback position, man, it's an ongoing battle. Obviously, with Isaiah being here, he's a little bit ahead of everybody because he knows the system. But Armand Parker and James are doing a good job of picking up what we're giving to them. And I think they had a really decent day today in terms of throwing the ball and decision making. It's just a matter of them continuing to grow and develop within the system.
Coach, talk about today's first scrimmage. What were you trying to achieve, and what were you wanting to see from the team?
So for us, we want to just have our big three every day is get effort, attitude, and just align well. You know what I mean? So we want to do our assignments and align well for us.
And what did you see today, and what impressed you? What are some things you might want to work on?
Like the old saying says, it's never as good as you thought it was, never as bad as it was. So for us, we're going to go in and watch the tape and kind of figure it out and see what it looked like. But we had a lot of effort, a lot of energy. We had a couple turnovers, but we usually want to get 3 a day. We only got 2, so we didn't hit our objective for the day. So that's something we got to build on, continue to get turnovers.
Coach, talk about your defensive front. How did they do creating pressure, and also how did the defense as a whole do well by turning pressure into possibly even getting some turnover for the scrimmage?
Right, they did well. Leading up there with Quinn Brown, our transfer for Syracuse, did a great job of getting off the ball. I think he was hard to block today. Took care of his one-on-one matchups, and then started sliding to him for the most part. But other than that, our interior guys held up too as well.
How have you begun to see this defense create an identity over the last couple weeks, first few practices here in the spring?
One more time?
What kind of identity have you begun to see emerge from this defensive group?
We're still in that stage, the incubation stage, what Coach calls it. We're still in that stage for sure, but our end goal is to be the best defense in the country, for sure.
Coach, FAMU's success over the last several years
For sure.
was based on defense first.
For sure.
And then that made the way for the offense. Is that the mentality that you're taking with your defense coming into the season?
Yeah, so we're adding to the dark cloud, I should say. You know what I mean? They've been holding it down in the SWAC. I've been in the SWAC for a couple of years. It's been usually us. When I say us, where I was at previously at Alabama State, FAMU and Jackson State up at the top. And FAMU's name was always there with the dark cloud. So for us here, we're trying to go 2.0. We're trying to build on what they did here at the Celebration Bowl year and continue to do that and have those type of numbers and stats and wins as a team, for sure.
Who are some players who are standing out right now on your defense?
Caden Brown, for sure. Syracuse, transfer. Then we got Denzel Johnson from Alabama State. He's standing out for us also.
Coach, one more last question for me. You mentioned that you was at Alabama State. You've led defenses to the top of the country before.
Yes, sir.
During that stop in the SWAC. How are you kind of translating that from Montgomery over here in Tallahassee?
Well, we said me, but I'm more of a we guy, right? So for us, it was more about our staff at Alabama State. And here, Coach Gray and I put together a great staff, I think, with winners. We got Coach Cash coming over from Albany State, I should say, who was the #1 defense in the nation. And then you got Coach Eli, who was at Buffalo this past year, but was also with that defense. So, and a couple guys that we brought from Alabama State. But for us, it's a we fence, and we got Coach Madison. We just added also. So it's a lot of guys with championship experiences at each level and also done what I've done. So I use them. And I know I usually get all the credit and all the blame, but without those guys, we won't be where we are and where we're trying to go and where we're going to go. You know what I mean? Because the standard is the standard.
Coach, talk about today and first scrimmage. What were you looking to see and what did you see?
Just effort and strain. This is effort-based offense. When you sit there and you come out and you're going to watch it on Saturdays in the fall, you're going to see a team that's running around, fast-paced, controlling the tempo. Tempo, again, is not as fast as you can, but it's controlled, right? That's what we want to see. We did a few tempo periods, had some opportunity just to go really, really fast and then also control the ball. So it was really good to see our offense kind of moving and grooving a little bit. So that was exciting actually to see.
Coach, was there any players just during this first scrimmage and also just throughout the first 2 weeks of spring, any players kind of jumping out at you in this early spring, especially the scrimmage?
That's always fun because you see them, and right, we've been here now for 2 months, so a couple of times, hey, 82, hey, 84, 28, great job. Like you're almost just yelling numbers before you know names, and you're just really trying to get everybody the ball, and instead of, getting a guy a ball, you're just calling plays, and it's kind of good to see. I wouldn't say that anybody, particular did anything, but they're all doing something great, which is really cool to see. And everybody, you're seeing the threes flash, the ones are flashing, twos are flashing. Heck, the fours had a walk-on flash today, which is pretty cool. So it's always fun to see.
I've been talking with the other coaches about the identity of this team. Talk about the identity you're seeing emerge from this offense.
Yeah, no, again, it's going to be effort. Our head football coach believes in the pillars, the non-negotiables of all in. That's that attitude, the little things, the love, right? The intelligence and the now, right? When we sit there and you talk about love, that's what we want to be. Can we spend time together, love it, right? And you're going to see an attitude by these guys of confidence, right? We're a confident team, right? We got to be confident. When you're confident, other people aren't as confident as you, right? Vibe reflects confidence. We're going to be loud, we're going to be proud, and we're going to get after it.
Coach, you mentioned that you were the O-line coach and the offensive run game coordinator. How is that running game going to be integrated into this FAMU offense, and how did it look today during the scrimmage?
Run game looked really well. It's just going to be controlled balance, right? Controlled balance isn't 50% pass, 50% run. it's being able to spread the ball out to all your playmakers, right? And yeah, we've got playmakers at the running back position, may have 1, 2, or 3 of those guys that are going to carry that rock in the fall for us, and they may be a little bit more run heavy than pass heavy at times, but we also do have quite a few receivers that can get after it as well. So we just want to see good balance more than anything, instead of the run game outshining the passing game or passing game outshining the run game. We're going to see balance and distribute the ball.